as some of you may know, I'm not necessarily a big fan of AI. I've made several videos talking about like different AI projects that have been coming out where a lot of people are testing, AI in terms of the generative field, which includes generative art, using voice acting, creating film using just AI, and stuff like that. And I've always, for those type of videos, I've always been against those type of things because as a creator who not only entered who's not only doing YouTube, but also, studied film, studied, art. And it's painful for me to see that there are people in the world who believe that AI will be able to do a lot of this stuff, do things better than humans can. I've always been against that. And I've watched videos of, people using AI for certain stuff, such as there's a YouTube channel that literally does a presence play where he uses AI to essentially voice presence playing certain games, those type of channels. And while it's very good in terms of the AI mimicking the sound of the voice of the people it's trying to mimic, it can and will probably never be able to capture the emotion, the raw emotion that voice acting can capture. And finally, we have actual evidence of this, right? We have actual evidence of AI voice acting really, really being awful, really being bad, and not capturing the raw emotion that voice acting and voice actors portray for a lot of the characters, whether it's anime, video games, and so on. And my God, let's just say there is a current anime that is currently airing right now, and they decided because they didn't want to use actual voice actors. More than likely, it's because of the I believe there's a voice acting strike, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but they decided to use AI to essentially dub over this anime. And I will play a clip of the scene, or at least a little bit of the scene, because I don't know about copyright stuff and stuff like that. But this is from an anime called Supercube, and here is just an example of AI voice acting in this anime.
Oh no, so hard.
Yeah, here's another example.
Take the punishment.
Your turn to answer the question.
Can you, do you not hear how awful that sounds? There's no raw emotion. It's literally robotic. There is nothing that showcases the expression of the characters in there with this AI voice acting. There's absolutely nothing. Like, oh my God, here, listen to it again.
No. Although I've known Yo-Yo for a long time, I don't think she sees me that way.
You see how awful that sounds? That's why when people say that like AI voice acting or AI filmmaking or AI generative art is going to replace human artists, it's insane that they think this, because while AI can and will continue to get better, generative AI is not going to ever bring out the raw emotion, that human touch, that human soul that the artists themselves put into their piece, into their work, into their voice, into the film that they're creating. And it's like, this is a perfect example of that. Like, you hear this and you think, oh, this is going to be the future of, dubbing, for anime, for video games. This is the future. Yeah, let's go. And I'm like, this is awful. Like, what are we doing? Like, what? This is so bad. Like, there's no emotion. Like, it just hurts my ears. And it's just like, oh my God, man. I can't believe there's actual people out there who believe that this is going to replace actual voice actors, that raw emotion that these voice actors can portray. Now, part of that is because, technology, as technology gets, older and newer technology gets invented and stuff like that, it's going to get better. It's going to get, much more advanced and much cheaper, right? The problem is that that's great for phones. That's great for medical equipment. That's great for programs or something that you have to personally have your own human touch to create certain things, right? Catching, certain diseases way earlier than any other device has ever done before. That's great use for AI. I love that, because I have accepted that AI will be part of our lives. But this generative AI, creating things using AI, it cannot create anything brand new. It cannot create that human emotion that artists put into that. This is a perfect example of what AI voice acting will be. And it's awful. I'm sorry. It is awful. I don't care how cheap AI is. I don't care how much, like, the translation from Japanese to English and how accurate it is that the AI voice is saying. I don't give a damn. Because one thing is that you could create accurate translations and have a voice actor say. There's no need for it. Right? That's a bullshit excuse anyway. But, like, you will never, ever see an anime with AI voice acting ever have any emotion to it. It's just awful. It's just bland. It just sucks. I'm sorry. I know there are people out there who have commented on my video saying I don't know anything about AI. I'm just speaking out, like, the general terminology that I heard online. No, I know about AI. I know how it works. I know how it operates. I literally work at a school of technology. I literally have to study on, like, AI and stuff like that. I know how it works. This isn't me, like, repeating like a parrot the same stuff that other people are saying. No, I know what I'm saying. I believe in this. I know what I'm saying because I did the research myself. I don't understand why people coming on these type of videos where I talk about AI and thinking like I'm just a parrot repeating, some bullshit that you think is bullshit online. No. I'm my own person. I don't parrot anything. I do my research. I do my own study. I know how AI works. I know just how bad AI voice acting really is right now. Will it get better? Yes. Will it ever capture the same raw emotion that voice actors have? I don't think it will. I honestly do not think it will. Why? Because it cannot understand emotion. This isn't some sci-fi fiction like Detroit Become Human where they start to, have personalities and start to have like some sort of human emotion. It's not like that. That is a fictional story. Could something like that happen in the future? Sure. I'll be dead by then, probably. But, like, it's not that. That's not what this AI is. And I highly doubt any sort of AI will ever capture that raw emotion humans can. That soul, that human touch. It will never be able to recreate that. And this is a perfect example of it. So, this was the loony moment of the month. I cannot believe this thing exists because it is awful. And frankly, I don't know who is dubbing this. I don't know who is essentially making this, but people are calling you out on it, and frankly, it is awful. It is bad. It really is bad. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, I'm not repeating or parroting anyone else's takes about AI. These are my own personal beliefs based on my own research. So, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time, alright? Bye-bye!